If there's one sound you hear in Tonga, it's the sound of tutu ngatu. Ngatu making in Tonga is the domain of the woman, using age-old traditions handed down from generation to generation. For hundreds of years, Ngatu or Tapa has been an iconic symbol of Pasifika, and in Tonga, its significance in everyday life is more prevalent than anywhere else in the Pacific. Ngatu is used in nearly every facet of life in the Kingdom of Tonga. The gift of Ngatu is one of the highest signs of respect. It is used at birth to swaddle a newborn. It lines the bed of a wedding couple on their first night, and finally, wrapped around the body of a loved one in death. This is Ngatu Tonga. Sieni Mafile'o has been making ngatu since she was young. Today she's working with a Koka'anga group or women's ngatu group at her cousin's village Lapaha, the original capital city of Tonga.
To make ngatu, every women in Tonga, they work as a group. This is the tutu tree that they use it for the ngatu. After this, and then we take off the skin from the tutu tree, and then they're ready to put it in the water, and then get ready for the lady to beat it. And the stick, we call it in Tonga esaike. And then the long stick down at the bottom, they call it tutua. We use the skin to making the fetaake. They have two pieces and they combine it and then start beating again.
Each woman has a certain length of fetaake they have to make before the next gathering.
So now is the time for their Koka'anga to show up every individual fetaake, and they glue it and then they combine it together and they make one ngatu.
In Tonga, there are two ways of making ngatu.
On this table, they use the fabric from overseas to put it on the bottom, and then they put the fetaake or the tapa on the top of the fabric one. On the other table at the back there, they use the tapa on the bottom and then the tapa on the top. That's the traditional one.
Women from every village all over Tonga meet up weekly in their Koka'anga groups, and it is an important opportunity to speak openly, where the elderly share stories with young about ngatu and other things. This process, depending on the size of the Koka'anga group and the length of the ngatu, can take anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days. It is a repeated process of lining up fetaake and combining them using a basic glue.
This flour and water, they just combine it and then make it as a glue for the ngatu. We add kerosene in so that the bark can attack the ngatu and make it shining too.
It is during this early stage that the base colouring and drawings of the ngatu begins, wiping in paint from the koka tree and using the kupesi, etched patterns built into the ngatu tables.
Every village, they have their own kupesi and their own reason why they choose that kupesi from.
Some of the more common images drawn freehand on a Tongan ngatu are the lion, the lupe or dove, and the Tongan shield. The women also mark the length as they go according to the amount of kupesi divisions drawn on. These are known as langanga.
After the Koka'anga, they roll out the ngatu and dry it under the sun.
Even while rolling out the ngatu, there is a strict protocol to follow. One woman yells out directions to keep the ngatu straight. Being so close to the end, some say rolling out the ngatu is the most important part of the entire process, making sure there are no creases or loose pieces of wheta'aki that might cause a valuable piece of cloth to later fall apart. Then the woman will complete the final step of darkening the kupesi patterns or drawing them on freehand. As young Tongan women learn the ways of their mothers and theirs before them, the sound of their past and present is loud and clear.
Excuse me, mister. I'll see finish.
Ngatu is arguably one of the most respected gifts in Tongan society, but perhaps the most value comes from the making of ngatu.
This is Tongan ngatu.